Good day to you all. Welcome to the Big Pile of Journals. This is the Big Pile of Journals edition. I thought it might be fun today to go through some of these journals and see the way that I've journaled over the past couple years. I bought myself a journal from Leanne at Creative Freedom Papers, and I am crazy in love with it. And I've developed a way to organize some things to use in this journal. I've never done this kind of journaling before, not a kind of journaling that relies on, it's really documented life kind of journaling. So this is all new for me, but I thought it might be fun to see the ways that I've journaled in the past, because it's getting to be the end of the year, and I know that a lot of us are thinking about journaling, or maybe thinking about journaling for the first time. I have done kind of it all. I am a journaler. I keep a daily journal, and I keep a work journal as well. And most of the time I do the thing called morning pages, where it's just a composition book, and you open the composition book and it's kind of like a brain dump. But I've also done different sorts of things. So I just wanted to kind of go through these and show them to you, and hopefully maybe inspire you guys to do some creative journaling of your own. One of the things that I fell in love with a couple years ago were these Midori style traveler's notebooks, and I never purchased one because they're super pricey, but I did make my very own traveler's notebook out of a box. This was a gift box, and I thought that the purple color was really pretty. And I've also made a lot of Midori style notebooks, and I've sold those in my Etsy shop before. But this is how I journaled when I was kind of doing the Midori thing, and you can see that it's basically art journaling. I can look at this. This is 2015. I was trying to keep a calendar journal, and we can see how far I got with that. Not very far. This when David Bowie passed away. So, you can kind of just see what I was aiming for here in a kind of a traveler's notebook kind of format. Another thing that I've always really enjoyed was journaling by fives, and I do consider that a type of journaling as well. I was super lucky to find this composition book in the thrift mart, and this is the person to whom it belonged, but she had written all kinds of things in this book, and I love to find composition books and notebooks that contain writing, and I don't know, it's just like an extra layer of mystery, to books. But this is my journaling by fives. And if you're not familiar with that, you can Google Shannon Green journaling by fives and kind of get the gist of that. I love this. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your unguarded thoughts. And this is probably one of those things that I am going to tear apart and use in other journaling. I like the colors. I thought it was super cool, and it was fun to do, but now it just kind of sits on my shelf and doesn't do much. And instead of it sitting on my shelf and not doing much, I would much rather tear apart some of these elements and reuse them in other projects, because I really, really like to do that. I think it's a lot of fun. I did do an old style Jennibellie kind of journal. This is a cereal box journal. This is the first journal that I ever made, and I think this was in maybe 2014. Yeah, this is when I very, very first started, doing art journaling. I was crazy in love with The Paradise. Do you remember that on PBS? Really did love that. This book was a super big challenge in 2014 because the pages were pink and I was recycling some paper and just this is one of my favorite pages. I think this was an art challenge, but I like the way that the books turned out down there. A lot of these were challenges. This is about the law of attraction right here. So you can see that it was just basic art journaling. This is a 5-minute art journal page, Jennibellie challenge in 2014. I love this page, and it is just a copy of a photograph. But I learned so much with this journal. It's very big, it's very bulky. This is one of my favorites too. I love Inspector Poirot. And this is a really sweet place that my boyfriend and I used to visit here in Richmond. I like the sentiment, no matter how long you have traveled in the wrong direction, you can always turn around. Probably one of my favorite pages. Again, I can kind of see me using this in other art projects, and I'll probably at some point kind of tear this one apart and reuse it as well. Then I got into raw intuitive journaling, and this is a Jennibellie class. Oh man, it is fantastic. I really do encourage you to take Jennibellie's Raw Intuitive Journaling class. It will open doors, open your eyes, open your creative self to all kinds of possibilities. You just kind of sit and meditate for a few minutes, and then you listen to your intuitive self and just really start to create all kinds of things. These pages came together really, really fast, really quick. And then that's when I started journaling on cards right here too. This is one of my favorite pages as well. And this worked just fine for a while. It worked. And then I think that I just totally switched to just doing the daily pages, the morning writing pages. I did like her. I thought she turned out pretty good. Again, this is probably something that I'll tear apart and use in some more art. And this was from this is Raw Intuitive Journaling as well, where you just kind of you just really let it go in the morning. And these are from 2016. So I really did like these. But now I want to try something different, and that is documented life. And that is why I bought this super keen book from Leanne over at Creative Freedom Papers. And the way that I'm organizing this, Leanne had the book wrapped in these ledger pages. So I definitely want to use these in the book. One of the very best things about this book is that it's going to expand. I mean, it's already expanding, and I just got it last week. But because she has stuck so much ephemera in here, it's kind of triggering things that I would like to add to the book. I tend to work on this in the morning over coffee. At night, I'm usually clipping images and things like that. So I've discovered a way. When I was working with my, oh man, we've got a really big glare here. Hold on. Caller, hold please. There we go. When I was working with my flow journals this morning for my shop, I realized that I ran across all this washi tape that I would really like to use in my new Documented Life book from Leanne. I ran into, gosh, this is one of my favorite things in the whole world, is Lorena McKenna, and I've been listening to her CD. Thank you, Jeannie, for sending me that CD. And I have chosen some pens that I want to work with, a little more washi tape. Basically, I'm just keeping everything in the box that the book came in, because I figured that is a great way to be organized about this. I have some images. This is the twine that Leanne had the book wrapped in, you know, the ledger pages. This is some ephemera that I've already taken out. This is a letter from 1905, and I will, as I use this letter in the book, I will read it to you guys. It's I can't even talk about it. It's just one of the most beautiful letters I've ever written, ever. And then Leanne also sent along, and if you go to her shop, she has these super cool printables. And she sent along some printables that were already on sticker paper. And like I said, at night, you know, I'm sitting downstairs and I'm clipping images, or you know how I like to clip things from my coupon books and things like that. So I've just got a lot of images to work with, in addition to the ultra cool images and ephemera that Leanne has already put into this book. So there you go, y'all. Just kind of a quickie about how I've journaled in the past and how I will be journaling. I'm hoping to start this journal probably next week. And I encourage you guys to journal. It's a great way to kind of get your feelings out and not have to talk about them. You know, I'm not a big talker about things. It's a wonderful way to kind of document your life and document your progress, and note things that you're listening to that are inspirational, quotes, that sort of thing. This will be sort of a commonplace book. I also ordered from Leanne the 2 towers, and I think that this is going to be the documented life, and I think the 2 towers is probably going to be the commonplace book. So there we go, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know how you journal and what your favorite way to journal is. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.